Evan Shoss, you are a bait making genius. What's up, Yins guys? Welcome back to Fishing PA with Ryan Reed. Man, I am having an awesome week. And the reasons for that has to do with coming off of Musky Road Rolls from this past Sunday. And I was able to attend my first Muskies Inc meeting this past Monday. And it just so happened that Muskies Inc meeting was also their annual lure swap. So it was an awesome event and I was super pumped to be there and be a part of that. Now, what I'd like to do in this episode is really kind of get into Muskies Inc and explain what the organization is, what they do, and then just talk about my experience at the first meeting and kind of talk about the lure swap and then just a couple of highlights from that night in particular. It was really awesome, and I just want to say Joel Morrow does a fantastic job with the club. He's a super nice guy. Really, my experience with the first meeting was pretty awesome because I was welcomed with open arms and we got to talk to a lot of local fishermen as well. All right, before I talk about the event, I just want to highlight what Muskies Inc is and what they do. Now, the purpose of Muskies Inc, it's really to promote a high quality fishery for the muskies across the entire country. But really, the organization also focuses on the conservation of the muskie and really dedicates resources to muskie research. We talk about Muskies Inc, we also talk about the muskie stocking effort. Now, Muskies Inc contributes to minnow funds, and they provide dedicated funds to be able to essentially hatch these fish, grow these fish, and then ultimately stock these fish, not only here in the state of Pennsylvania, but countrywide. But really, Muskies Inc also maintains records. We talk about growth records and habits, and a lot of information that really contributes again to the conservation of the muskie. And lastly, Muskies Inc really does a good job disseminating information that's not only beneficial for you as a fisherman, but information that really again contributes to the conservation, the preservation of muskies in general. Now, this organization really goes to bat for the muskies. For whatever reason, a lot of people have misconceptions on the fish, and they think muskies are these evil, toothy critters that eat all the bass in our lakes around, not only here in PA, but in Minnesota, Wisconsin, throughout the entire range of fishing world across the country. But that's just really not the case. And Muskies Inc is really one of those organizations that has the research. You know, they put all this information together and they really fight and battle for the muskie and you as a muskie fisherman. So I can't say enough about the organization. My only regret as a muskie fisherman is not getting involved in Muskies Inc sooner. I consider myself a conservationist, and this organization does a great job protecting a fish that I absolutely love, and I absolutely love to spend time fishing for. Now, if you guys have any additional questions about Muskies Inc, feel free to go out to their website, do a Google search, check out the organization, check out what they do from a conservation standpoint. If you guys want some more information, drop me a note or reach out to maybe one of the local club heads and obtain that information, because there's a lot of awesome features about Muskies Inc. First and foremost, for about $45, you guys can contribute to, again, the conservation of the fish. I can't overstate that. For $45, some of that's going to go to the minnow fund, some of that's going to go to the organization in order to continue to fight battles to protect these fish. Also, with that $45 subscription, you guys can get an awesome calendar. They come out with an awesome calendar every year. Got an awesome picture of a muskie on the front. In this calendar, you guys are going to see there's full-fledged pictures of muskies. There's awesome dates on here, so you can see, in May of this year, Akron, Canton, there's an open club tournament. So all of the Muskies Inc events are in the calendar, and it's just an awesome thing to be able to get through the organization to kind of keep track of all that. In addition, you guys get a subscription to the magazine. Now, Muskies Inc magazine has a lot of good information in this. It's a good read. So it's just another benefit of you joining the club. In addition to that, the lunge log. Muskies Inc has a lunge log, and basically you can go in and log every single muskie that you catch, and there's a lot of records in there, and they'll even give you, what baits have caught the most fish throughout, years of record keeping. So it's just an awesome resource for you guys to have as a muskie fisherman, or for those of you that are looking to get into the sport of muskie fishing. Muskies Inc. is a first stop for you on your journey to starting the muskie fishing quest. All right, guys, so let me just talk about the event up in Warrendale. Again, this was my first meeting. So when I walked in the door, I seen Joel, who I had talked to previously, but almost immediately, Jason kind of came up to me and introduced himself, and he welcomed me into the club. He welcomed me to my first meeting. So naturally, that kind of broke the ice. I was feeling a little bit nervous. I'm just kind of nervous around new people in general. It's easy to talk to a camera, but in that scenario, Jason, thank you for kind of coming up to us and starting the conversation to break the ice. That was super helpful. And I got to meet Jason, and I got to meet a lot of new people. I got to meet Charlie and really a lot of local fishermen around the Pittsburgh area. So firstly, going to these Muskies Inc. meetings gives you guys a number of resources. And that's really valuable when you're talking about, kicking around stories or collecting information or giving people information. It's just an awesome forum. So, Muskies Inc. again, those meetings are an awesome opportunity for you guys to get out there and talk to some serious fishermen in your local area. So the meeting was pretty straightforward. It was really kind of a good start for me to kind of get involved and see how some of the meetings go. But in addition to that, the lure swap. This was such a cool idea that they've been doing for a long time, to just really have fishermen in the area come to the local club and really just bring some used baits and used fishing equipment and really kind of do a swap. So you could bring some cash, you could purchase some new baits or used baits, you could purchase some used equipment. There was some new equipment there too. You could swap lures. It was just a really cool thing. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It was cool to get out and talk to people and swap some baits and look at some baits that guys are looking to get rid of. So with that said, I want to show you guys a couple of the baits that I picked up on Monday night. And really, I focused on Wileys. There were a number of Wiley lures there. And even though they were used, they're still in really great shape. So first off, I picked up my first and second Wiley Fat Body. Now, I picked this up off a gentleman for 15 bucks. I mean, a lot of you guys know these baits sell for $34, $35. So, 15 bucks for my first Fat Body, and that's a really cool pattern too. I was pretty pumped about it. Second lure that I picked up, again, another Wiley Fat Body. Awesome color, especially for Chautauqua. So I'm super pumped about that. Again, 15 bucks. Can't beat it for a used Wiley's. Third bait, I picked up this little purple Wiley's, 5.5. Just an awesome color there. And Dale just makes such awesome stuff. And sometimes it can be really hard to get. But, again, there were a ton of baits there. There were legend baits there. There were Wiley baits there. There were a number of lures that I had even never seen before. It was just a great opportunity to get out and talk to these guys and really pick up some used equipment at very reasonable prices. So that event is spectacular. Again, Joel does such a great job with it. The only thing I could say is, that's open to the public as well. So maybe next year, if you guys are interested, take a look at joining the club so you guys can get into this and really enjoy these types of events. But the other things, Muskies Inc. does, they do banquets throughout the year. They do bait raffles and equipment raffles. They do tournaments all year long. The tournament schedule just came out. Joel sent it out a little bit ago. These are awesome opportunities to get out and fish tournaments or, pick up some free baits. You guys can throw some money on a raffle and win some really cool baits. And I know we have a couple of bakers that are going to be raffled off that they had mentioned. And it was just, it's just things to think about. So one other aspect of the night that I want to talk about really quick was Shawn Leopardi. Shawn Leopardi showed up. Many of you guys know Shawn. He puts on the Musky Max every year. Todd is his brother who makes Leo lures up north here in Pennsylvania. So Shawn was there. He spoke for a few minutes about Musky Max. He gave away some coupons, $1 off for the show. And it was just really kind of a cool opportunity to see Shawn and really get some information on Musky Max. So again, these meetings are really productive. And I just think it was a cool opportunity to spend some time with some fishermen in our local area. All right, one last thing I want to talk about. This kind of happened at the event. late in the night, I was talking to Joel about Musky Max, and this kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Evan Schoss from Schoss Bait Company was standing on the other side of the table. Now, Evan's a local bait maker here in Pittsburgh. And I gotta be honest, I really didn't see Evan's baits until recently. We were at the meeting and I was getting ready to kind of wrap up for the night and take off. And Evan kind of reached over the table and said, "Hey Ryan, here's a bait for you. Give this a run." So I took a look at it and immediately I was kind of like taken back because, when I looked at it at first, I was like, man, this is a beautiful looking lure. And then it kind of dawned on me that Evan was handing that to me for me to run. So I just kind of want to say a few things about Schoss Bait Company. So first and foremost, this is the bait that Evan handed over to me. Pretty awesome looking bait. Awesome paint job, awesome profile. I've been staring at this thing since Monday. It's been about 48 hours and I just can't take my eyes off of it. It's one of those things where if you guys fish for muskies and you guys get a lure like it's of this caliber, you just really can't stop looking at it. I play with all my stuff, but I've been looking at this bait. I'm super excited to get it in the water. So Evan, I just want to give you a quick shout out. Thank you very much again for this bait. And also, I checked out his Facebook page. Evan makes a lot of different baits, has a lot of cool looking colors. You guys should check out Schoss Baits on Facebook. Here's his card. Joel had given me his card here. And he makes a bait called the Meatball. And I really just want to get a look at one of these. I really wish I would have ventured over there to take a look at some of his stuff, but his contact information is there. Guys, go out and do a search for Schoss Bait Company. Find him on Facebook. Check out his products. Again, just absolutely stunning profile on this guy. And the meatballs look really cool too. I'm excited to hopefully get an opportunity to pick up a Goldie in this particular model when I see Evan at Musky Max. So, this speaks to musky fishermen, guys like Evan that are willing to hand a new guy like me a bait and say, hey, give this a run. I can't say enough about what type of people they are. They're just awesome people. They're awesome fishermen, awesome bait makers. And it's really just so cool to be a part of this community in Western Pennsylvania and in Pennsylvania in general. Again, you guys need to go out. You need to check out Muskies Inc. Check out your local chapter. Take a look at being a member. It's completely worth it. You guys have opportunities to talk to fishermen, local bait makers that make awesome products. It's just a really cool club to be a part of, and you guys can support the muskie and the conservation of the muskie. Again, I just started doing this a couple years ago. It's been 4 years for me since I really started taking it serious. I've been fishing for muskies a lot more the last 2 years. Getting my first fish in the boat after losing like 6 or 7 fish. I love muskies and I love musky fishing. I don't even want to fish for bass anymore. And it's really such an addiction with the lures and everything. Muskies Inc. is such a huge part of that. And really the success of the musky fishery here in Pennsylvania. One last thing. You guys need to go out and check out one of the latest Fat AZ podcasts. They had Jared Sayers on from PA Fish and Boat. And he talked about the musky stocking program. That podcast blew me away. It was so interesting. And I didn't even know that Pennsylvania has one of the top musky stocking programs in the country. And you guys can get a full understanding of what goes on, how they stock these fish, how they manage these fish. It was an excellent podcast. I was just totally blown away by it. And those guys do such a good job asking questions. But, all of this combined, Muskies Inc. here in Pennsylvania contributes to that with the minnow funds. It really supports the fishery, so please check it out. I value it. I'm hoping that these types of videos help you guys see the importance of it. So with that said, I hope you guys like this video. If you do, hit that like button for me. If you guys like this content overall, or for some reason you like listening to me, hit that subscribe button for me. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. Looking forward. Please keep in mind, Musky Max is coming up. We're only a couple of weeks out, March 2nd and 3rd in Canonsburg, South Point. I am so familiar with the area. I spent a lot of time down there for work. So looking forward to that event. And show season is just about to wrap up here in another month or so. So with that said, I wish everybody tight lines, and we'll see you guys next time.